Welcome to Geek Tyrants Reviewers Assemble, looking at a movie from every point of view. Joining with me today from my right side is going to be Shiloh, who is our artist, looking at the artistic point of view of the movies. Josh, who's going to be our average Joe, just coming in with no real thoughts in mind, just enjoying the movie. We've got Tony over here, who is our movie critic, who's going to be taking a more critical look at the movie. And Drew, who is our hardcore geek, who's going to be looking at the movie as a geek. Today, we're going to be reviewing The Force Awakens, Star Wars edition.
I'm still hung up on no thoughts.
What's that?
I have some thoughts.
Well, okay, you have some thoughts.
I'm just giving you a hard time, dude.
So, speaking of Star Wars, I mean, there's a lot of hype that's been building over this. Real quickly, what were your guys' thoughts before you actually went and saw the movie? What did you expect? Expectations?
J.J. Abrams, anything he touches turns to gold.
All right. Shiloh?
Yes, but there was so much hype that I actually tried to ignore it a little bit. It was getting a little annoying, and I didn't want to get my hopes too high.
All right. Tony?
I was worried that it would be too overly sentimental, too much play with the old characters.
Right.
All right, yeah,
Drew?
I can see that. I was just flat out excited. I became part of the hype monster, and I loved it. So
I imagine the hype
anticipation,
monster is like the Cookie Monster,
Yeah.
but everything Star Wars that's released, you just
I
throw in
just
your
feel
mouth,
like,
and it crumbles and doesn't actually go down.
just-
All right, so you guys saw the movie, obviously. What are your thoughts? Let's go backwards. Drew?
Yeah.
Was it any good?
Yeah, it was amazing. I love this movie. Everything about it just felt genuinely heartfelt. Like JJ came in and he said, I love this. I'm going to be careful with it. And he surrounded himself with people who also felt that way, who brought their love for Star Wars to this film. So, yeah, no, I think it blew my expectations, and I think it was very exciting for everyone.
Great. Tony?
Here's the thing.
What is the thing?
If you're standing in the front of the ocean and a wave comes and takes you with it, you either start to enjoy it or you drown. And Star Wars, the hype, the promotion, the people, it was like that. So sitting in the theater, I was surrounded by that wave of people that when In a Galaxy Far, Far Away comes up, just screaming and yelling. That is joy.
Yes.
And when you're surrounded by joy, you go with it. So I think that was my first interpretation when I wrote my first review on Star Wars The Force Awakens, was how much joyful it was and how much it brought the fans back to the theater.
Thank you.
Shiloh, we'll go with you. We'll get to you. You look upset.
You only have a few thoughts. We don't need. I'm just kidding.
Shiloh?
You should be sharpening a knife.
Yeah, I need so much camera time. I only have like 7 words in my vocabulary. I get it.
No, I actually want to second Tony. There was someone sitting next to me that said I actually felt like I was coming home. And I want to say there was a fine line with that because it could have felt too much like we were coming home. When J.J. Abrams or the direction and the production, they decided to pay homage to specific things that, paid tribute to Episode 4. We saw similar landscapes or we saw similar machinery or characters that were in. It wasn't too much. It could have gone. It could have gone there, but it didn't, and I'm glad it didn't. But it really did keep a fine balance with those artistic elements that he brought in.
Right. Josh?
I'll take a little bit from what everybody said. Shiloh said coming home. Drew said it blew was his first word. His mind was the rest of it, of course. And Tony said it was a tidal wave. So for me, it was like if I had to take a big greasy dump and it felt like a tidal wave coming over me and it was going to blow my drawers out and I had to hurry home. I would have had more fun with a video recorder, a mirror, and laughing at myself making fart noises in the mirror for 30 minutes.
What?
Wow.
Like,
Really?
There's a love letter for you.
Are you serious?
yeah, it just did nothing for me. I'm watching it, and I'm like, okay, oh, look, he tripped over a stick. Wow, that led to the next plot. Oh, look, here's a bigger stick that he tripped on.
Wait,
or
are
she
you
tripped
thinking
on.
of this one, or are you thinking the one with Jar Jar Binks?
Yeah.
No,
seriously, what
I
did you
actually
see?
think I might actually call Jar Jar Binks up and ask him to hang out so we can make fun of this movie together.
What?
Oh. All right. With that,
Misa Haiti.
so was there any specific things?
Misa Haiti.
What specific things, as an average Joe? What was it that brought the hate? What was it like? Oh, was it the characters? Was it the story?
You gotta understand, like, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, right? So I go into this, like, I've seen some Star Wars movies, they're fun. And so everybody cheering, being excited about 500 cameos, I get it. Like, for them, they loved it, and it was made for them. It was a lot like Michael Bay, who made 3-hour toy commercials for Transformers. I felt like if, J.J. Abrams and Michael Bay had to be hanging out over a cup of coffee or something.
No,
and J.J. was like, hey, Michael, like, what do I do here?
But Michael does
And Michael Bay's like, just throw a stick.
You're not
Make a car
saying
crash
anything,
happen.
though.
Not to say that Michael Bay isn't bad at what he does, but he does a lot of his work in post. JJ does do a lot of his work in, like, it's production.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
there.
well-
It's real.
I like Transformers 1, if that helps.
Oh my gosh.
Oh Lord.
So was it the plot that was wrong? What about the
Yeah,
story?
it sucked.
Did you fall in love with the robot at least?
The robot was great.
Okay.
Hey,
The
get
circular
something.
Like, he was fun, and for me, the highlight of the whole movie is where he gave the little, like, Zippo lighter thumbs up. I was like, that was the redeeming quality for me in the movie, and it brought me completely back.
Okay.
All right.
So real quick before we do our
suck.
final thing, Shiloh brought an interesting point up. They did in any kind of reboot, remake, or sequel, they do a lot of homages and a lot of references to the original. Now, there's been a lot of people who said that maybe they've gone a little bit too far with some of them. What are your guys' thoughts, if any?
For me, like, I watched this movie and I began to realize, it's a lot like A New Hope, but I didn't care because it felt so familiar. Han Solo said it best when he said, "We're home." You know, right? And I love these new characters. Rey, Finn, BB-8, Poe, I love them. And now they are my new Star Wars. And Han Solo led them through this. He is sort of their shepherd into this galaxy. And it gives us the okay that we can like these people in a sense. But you'll love them anyway, so it's great.
It needed to be brought back home a little bit because I think
Right.
we were so far off base with 1,
Yeah.
2, and 3 that we just didn't know where to go. And so
Yeah.
he knew he needed to bring it back, but there was a fine line. And I think if it did go over the top for me a little bit was maybe in the direction with Carrie Fisher and Hans. I don't know.
Wait, did you say Hans?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's Swedish.
It's just Han,
It's Han.
not Hans.
Spoken like true Star
I mean,
Wars
there's more.
geeks.
I have double vision, and sometimes
That's okay.
there's
No, there were two
duplicity of
Hans.
him.
Here's
Ron's also
my
made a
take
cameo.
on this.
Yeah, Don, let's hear it.
Is this is a flaw in every time anybody tries to reboot something, they have to rewind the tape recorder a little bit and then move you forward.
Yes.
I wish that we had a little less of the cameos and more of the new people in it, and not
Yeah, I agree with
revisit
that.
a plot
That's a
point
good
that we
point.
visited two other times, blowing up something to save the day and all of that. I mean,
In the exact same way.
and pretty much. But I mean, if you want to be critical about this, but I think he played it safe, the JJ and Disney. Remember, he's under the
Yeah.
auspices
Yeah,
Very true.
of
It's
the
not just him.
of the
Mouse.
of the New Order. So he had to do something to bring in the old fans, and now give us new fans as well. So that's where that is.
All right. Final thoughts, guys. What's your final score and a very, very brief reason why you give it that? We'll start over here, Shiloh.
You're going to see desert, you're going to see winter, forest, you're going to see ships and space. There's a lot of artistic value happening here. Even the costumes are actually really beautiful. So artistically, although the music was a little forgettable, artistically, I have to say, with the script and the plot and the new characters, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
All right. Josh, how much are people going to hate you today?
No, I don't know, probably a lot. I don't really care. The bottom line is I watched the movie and I basically I've seen all of this before. So that's pretty much how I felt. And to me, to sum up the entire movie is like, hey guys, like Taco Bell opens at 7 o'clock. Let's see if we can take 5 minutes, make a quick plan to blow up the Death Star 10 times as big as the old Death Star. And maybe we can get back in time for a quick burrito and a movie. A real movie. Maybe that Michael Bay made.
So your score.
I don't like Michael Bay either, just so everyone knows.
And your score?
Is there a number below 0?
Don't you dare.
Oh my
No, I'm
gosh,
kidding.
Josh.
It wasn't that bad. It only sucked moderately. So I give it like a 4 or 5. 4.5.
4. Okay.
It almost was average.
All right.
It's a fan movie. that's what it is. That's what it will be.
Yep.
I can't wait for 8, where Olaf the Snowman in Frozen fights BB-8. I think that's going to be good, being that everything's Disney now. But I gave this movie an 8 out of 10.
All right.
All right, so Star Wars is back, everyone.
It's a
It
10.
is going to be coming.
It's a 10.
This is where we're going. We have new characters that we love.
He's gonna
This
say
is what
it's
we're
a
going
10.
to be
Just get it
enjoying for the next, who knows, the rest of
all-
our lifetimes at least.
Pretty sure he's going to say 10.
Yeah.
Hey, Drew, what did you give the movie?
10 out of 10.
Hey! Go
All
see it.
right, the overall score is going to be an 8. Due to the fact that this movie, it captured so much of the original while still bringing a lot of fresh, new insights with brilliant, funny new characters.
Yes.
But it did repeat some of the old stuff that some people might find a little bit repetitive. Some people being Josh. Join us next time for more Reviewers Assemble.